24 wards are up for grabs in the by-elections currently taking place. Well, today, that is, 95 candidates are vying for those seats around the country. In the previous round of by-elections, new partnerships formed in Gauteng, with the Democratic Alliance emerging the biggest loser. So what's at stake this time around? The eNCA's Gauteng is in Benoni, and he joins me now. Colleague, good morning to you. Good to have you, obviously. Let's talk about what to expect today. I understand you are in Benoni.
Yes, I am in Benoni, an area where the by-election is happening because of internal Democratic Alliance politics. And at 7 o'clock, the voting stations are officially open here in Lakefield. I'm at the Gauteng Eastern Tennis Association, and so far we haven't had a single voter. In fact, I think this couple that are coming through here might be some of the first voters to have arrived at this area. But the reason why this by-election is happening is because the ward councillor in this area, Melanie Haggard, had resigned from the Democratic Alliance after John Moody issued his resignation, and she's now been associated with Herman Mashaba's party, Action SA. Of course, Action SA isn't contesting this election because they are having some problems with their logo and registration with the IEC. So Melanie Haggard is contesting this ward as an independent candidate. It's interesting because the Democratic Alliance has held this ward for over 10 years. And today, their biggest competitor is not just Melanie as an independent, but the Freedom Front Plus, which has made serious inroads in this area. So it's a race between the DA and the Freedom Front Plus here at this voting station and in this ward in Benoni. And we're likely to see some of these same dynamics playing out across the country today, particularly in areas where DA councillors have resigned because of the friction between former Gauteng leader John Moody and the national leadership. So we'll speak to Melanie a little bit later on, as well as to the IEC's deputy chairperson, who will be conducting visits of voting stations in Gauteng today to get a sense of what they expect for this by-election. But of course, from what we saw last month, the average voter turnout just over 30%, dipping slightly for what's been expected for by-elections. It appears as if there might be a low voter turnout once again for this by-election. But the IEC says everything's in place. The voting station is open. The political parties are here. All we're missing now are the voters.
Yeah, and just talking about, the voters, the Gauteng, do we know what are some of the pressing issues within the community, some of their needs, especially when it comes to service delivery?
Yeah, well, this is an area which has a lower middle class to upper middle class and upper echelon LSM bracket, and it has a higher proportion of sporting facilities, recreational facilities, as well as a WhatsApp group, at least in this voting district, which is run through Melanie Haggard and now also through some of the other allies of her independent campaign that she's running. But from what we've spoken to, it does appear that residents in this area are concerned with making sure that Melanie stays on, although their biggest problem seems to be problems with the Ekurhuleni municipality and not necessarily their ward councillor. Remember that this city is run by the ANC through a slim majority in a coalition council. And this area just down the road, we had a dam that collapsed, or a dam wall that collapsed at the beginning of this year, and that was repaired within a month. And we've also seen some damage that was inflicted to the other side of the ditch between the highway and the suburb, and that was also repaired within a period of 1 month. It does seem as if this area receives services frequently and adequately, but and what we're seeing here is more a result of internal politics than an election because of service delivery.
All right, then, Gauteng, that's where we'll leave it. Thank you so much. Gauteng.